Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitāmrita audio class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrita audio class. We are discussing from Madhya lila. We are on chapter 9. In this chapter, Kaviraj Goswami is describing the travels of Mahaprabhu to various places in South India. So far, we have discussed how Mahaprabhu, after leaving the wonderful association of Ramanand Rai, he started traveling. He met with a group of people who are Buddhists, and they wanted to contaminate Mahaprabhu by offering some contaminated food. But Garuda came and just picked up that plate of all that obnoxious food, threw it on the head of these group of people, and then ultimately all of them, they became devotees of Krishna. They prayed, please help our Guru. Mahaprabhu delivered him. And then he went to so many places. Ultimately, he reached Sri Rangam. And for 4 months of Chaturmas, he was staying at the house of Venkat Bhatt. There, Mahaprabhu met with a very, very wonderful Brahman. He was illiterate, but still he was reading Bhagavad Gita every day. Entire Bhagavad Gita, although he was not able to read properly. Ashtadash Adhyay Pade Ananda Aveshe, Ashuddha Pade Na Loka Kore Upahase. People would make fun of him. But he was crying tears of ecstasy. Mahaprabhu asked him, what type of happiness you are getting? You are not able to understand. He says, I am seeing the cover page of this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is holding the reins of Arjuna's chariot. That is giving me great joy. Mahaprabhu says, you are qualified to read Bhagavad Gita. And then Mahaprabhu had a wonderful discussion with Venkat Bhatta over why Lakshmi Devi is going to take association of Krishna and why she is not able to get so. So Mahaprabhu ultimately establishes the supremacy of Krishna over all the Narayan forms. Then Mahaprabhu goes to further places after this Chaturmas is over. He reaches a place of Sri Shailam. There he meets Krishna, Lord Shiva and Parvati as a Brahman and Brahmani. He continues. In the last class we discussed Mahaprabhu, as he reaches Madurai, he meets a Brahman and his name was Ramdas Vipra. This Brahman, he was a great devotee of Lord Ram. And he was authority on this Ram lila. He invited Mahaprabhu to his place. And when Mahaprabhu reached, he saw that this person has not cooked anything. Mahaprabhu asked, what is the reason? He says, my dear Lord, we are staying in the forest. We don't have sufficient ingredients. When Lakshman will get the ingredients from the forest, then Sita will cook. Then I can feed you. He was in that mood. So Mahaprabhu, he was very happy seeing such wonderful devotee. And then he said, actually, I'm so very sad because he didn't eat. He cooked for Mahaprabhu. He fed him, offered food, prasad to Mahaprabhu. He didn't eat. He said, I'm so very sad. How can Ravan touch Mother Sita? Mahaprabhu says, no, please understand. Sita is spiritual. Any material thing can never touch the potency of the Lord. So please don't think like this. And somehow Mahaprabhu pacified him. And then Mahaprabhu left. So we'll continue from verse number 197. So Mahaprabhu proceeded to southern India and arrived at a place called Durvasan. There he took bath in a river called as Kritamala. So this Kritamala is also known as the river Bhagai or Vagai. At Durvasan, Mahaprabhu, he took darshan of the deity of Lord Ramchandra at a wonderful temple. Then from there he proceeded to Mahendra Shaila. At Mahendra Shaila, he took darshan of Lord Parshuram. That Mahendra Shaila is the same mountain from where Hanumanji had jumped to cross the ocean. Prabhupada writes that. Mahendra Shaila is also mentioned in Ramayana. So this hill of Mahendra Shaila is near a place Tirunelveli. From there, Mahaprabhu went to Setubandha. And there he took darshan of Dhanush Tirtha. He took bath in Dhanush Tirtha. Dhanush Tirtha is a place where Lord Ram, he had broken that entire Setu as he returned back from Lanka after killing Ravan. On the request of Vibhishan, Lord Ram with his own bow, he broke that Setu so that no demons can come on this side again. Prabhupada writes, in Rameshwara, the Rameshwara name indicates that great personality whose worshipable deity is Lord Ram. It is a temple of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he worships Lord Ram. And then from there, Mahaprabhu, he went to meet with some of the very wonderful Brahmanas. They were expert in Agnishtoma. There is a section of Vedic literatures in that various sacrifices are mentioned. When Mahaprabhu reached this place, these Brahmanas, they were discussing from Kurma Purana. And then this Kurma Purana, there was a description of a chaste woman's narration. Who was that chaste woman? That is Mother Sita. So Mother Sita's description was given in this Kurma Purana. Prabhupada writes, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he remarks that only 2 khandas of Kurma Purana are now available. Uttar Khanda and Purva Khanda. So in this, sometimes it is said, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam also, that Kurma Purana has 6,000 verses. But out of those, Bhagavatam mentions that Kurma Purana has 17,000 verses. But somewhere it is said Kurma Purana has 6,000 verses. So basically, many parts of this Kurma Purana, they are not found. They are missing. Nobody knows. It is extinct. So this Kurma Purana is one of the Mahapurana. And in that Kurma Purana, there is a wonderful description of Mother Sita. How, when Ravan, he came to kidnap Mother Sita, what happened? Pavitrata Shiromani Janakanandini Jagatera Mata Sita Ramera Grihani Pavitrata Shiromani, she is the epitome. Mother Sita is the epitome of chastity. Pavitrata Shiromani, Janaka Nandini, the daughter of Janaka Maharaj, she is the epitome of chastity. In the Vedic literatures, there are few ladies who are described as the most chaste. Mandodari, Anusuya, Sita, all these are glorified as most chaste ladies. Jagatera Mata and Srimati Sita Devi, she is the mother of the whole world, whole universe. And she is the wife of Lord Ram. So what happened when Ravan came to kidnap Mother Sita? She saw that this person is coming. She took shelter of Agni Dev. And Agni Dev, he covered the body of Mother Sita and protected her. He took Mother Sita under her care. And then Ravan, he came and he kidnapped a illusory Sita. He didn't kidnap the real Sita because real Sita was taken away by Agni Dev. And in place of her, he just put an illusory form of Sita. And Agni Dev, he kept Mother Sita at the place of goddess Parvati. So this illusory Sita, which was delivered to Ravan, was not original one. And in other place it is described who was this illusory Sita. There was a great ascetic lady, Tapasvi. Her name was Vedavati. She wanted to marry Lord Vishnu. And for that she was doing great tapasya in the forest. She was very beautiful, ascetic lady. And Ravana, one day as he was roaming in the surface, he found this lady doing tapasya. He came and he started proposing and he told that you should be my wife. You'll become the chief of my wives. Just marry me and we'll enjoy. She said, no, I want to marry Lord Vishnu. And I don't want to be contaminated by anyone else. Ravan, he forcibly tried to take her. She was a very powerful ascetic lady. With her hand became like a sword. Ravan had caught the hairs of this Vedavati. So this Vedavati, with her hand, she cut off her hair. And then she said, now I am been touched by you. I am not qualified to marry Lord Vishnu. So therefore I am ending my life. But in my next life, I'll become the cause of your death. And she invoked the fire element in her body and then she burned herself. That same Vedavati, she was put as illusory Mother Sita. So when Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard that there was illusory Sita and not the real Sita, he was very satisfied. And this story, when Mahaprabhu heard, he remembered the words of Ramdas Vipra. Because Ramdas Vipra was very sad. And Mahaprabhu, he is such caring God. He is on his way. He has walked long ahead of Madurai. But still, he took the pains of copying down all these verses of Kurma Puran and he kept that copied version under the custody of these Brahmanas there and took the original scripts so that the Ramdas Vipra could believe. Otherwise, anybody can make any verses. So the original texts, original scriptures, the leaves, they were taken in possession by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu walked all the way back to Madurai, delivered the same original leaves to this Ramdas Vipra. And the verses of Kurma Puran, Kaviraj Goswami writes, Sitaya radito vahani chaya sita maji janat tam jahar dashagriva sita vahani puram gata Sitaya aradito vahani. So when Sita, she petitioned Agnidev Sitaya Aradhito Vahani. Vahani means fire god. So when Mother Sita saw that the Ravan is coming, she invoked fire god. And Chaya Sita Jijanat, fire god, brought a illusory form of Mother Sita. And that illusory form was kidnapped by Dashagriva. Tam Jahar Dashagriva. And Sita was taken by Agni Dev to his abode. Pariksha Samaye Vahani Chaya Sita Viveshasa Vahani Sitam Samaniya Tatpurastadaniyat. So when did real Sita come again? After Ravana was killed, then Sita, she came in front of Lord Ram. At that point of time, Lord Ram, being an ideal king, he had the responsibility to establish the purity of Mother Sita. Although Mother Sita is all pure, but because he is king, he had to give the proof to the whole world that Mother Sita is pure. So he told Lakshman that you have to create a fire, and the Sita has to go through it. She has to give the test of her chastity. At that time, Pariksha Samaye Bhanim, at the time of test, Agni Dev, he brought real Sita, Chaya Sita Viveshasa. So illusory Sita entered the fire and the real Sita came out of the fire. So these are the two verses which Mahaprabhu showed to this Ramdas Vipra. And Ramdas Vipra was so happy to see all these verses and to receive Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again. He fell at the feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he told, Vipra kahe tumi sakshat Sri Raghunandan Sannyasi Raveshe More Dila Darshan. And Mahaprabhu gave him the vision. Mahaprabhu gave him his mercy. He could understand that this personality is not an ordinary sannyasi. He is Lord Ram himself. Tumi Sakshat Sri Raghunandan. It is possible only by the mercy of the Lord. Without the mercy of the Lord, it is not possible to have this realization. To understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as God, it is only possible by His mercy. And that is the mercy which we have received. Otherwise, how is it possible to understand and accept Krishna, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna himself? He is Channa Avatar. He is hidden incarnation. Only by the mercy of the Lord, which comes through the Guru Parampara, we have been able to understand this. So it is not that, oh, Lord was there personally, He gave mercy to all these devotees. Who is there for us? The same mercy is coming in Parampara. Athapi tereva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugrihita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya eko pichiram vichinvan. Brahmaji is telling, he's offering prayers. Only if somebody has received the causeless mercy of your lotus feet, O my Lord, he can understand you. Nobody else can understand. Prasad, Lesh, Anugraha. Only a drop of mercy is sufficient. Because Lord's mercy is like ocean. And who are we? As Venkat Bhatt says, Ami Jiva Shudra Buddhi Sahajasthir Ishwarera Lila Koti Samudra Gambhir. But we are insignificant living entities. What can we understand? A drop of mercy is sufficient, just like in temple in the morning time when Guru Puja happens, people they come in line to take darshan and to take Charnamrit. And if somebody is taking Charnamrit and one drop of Charnamrit falls on the floor and the ant is crawling, that one drop is sufficient to drown the ant. So the mercy of the Lord is like that one drop, and we are like ants. By the mercy of the Lord, we have received that drop of mercy. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have received the drop of mercy. And that's how we can understand that तुम्ही साक्षात श्री रघुनंदन प्रतिमा नहीं, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य राधा कृष्ण नाही अन्य, श्री राधाया प्रणय महिमा कीदृशो वा नयैव, स्वाद्यो येनाद्भुत मधुरिमा कीदृशो वा मदीया, सौख्यं चास्य मदनुभवता कीदृशो वेति लोभा, तद्भावाढ्या समजनिशचि गर्भ सिंधु हरिंदु. That same Lord Shri Krishna, he appeared taking in the mood of Radharani to experience these loving emotions. By the mercy of Kaviraj Goswami, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have access to all this. That is our fortune. So Ramdas Vipra is telling, Sannyasira Veshe More Dila Darshan. I am so fortunate you have personally come as a sannyasi and you are giving me darshan. You are the same Lord Ram. Mahaprabhu gave that same darshan to Sarabham Bhattacharya also. He gave that same darshan to Ramananda Rai also. So that's how that same mercy is still available. It is not that it was available in the past when Mahaprabhu was there. It is still there. We have to just become qualified to receive that mercy. We have to be there with the patra of our humility to receive that showers of mercy. So this Brahmana, he says, my dear sir, you have delivered me from this very unhappy condition. I'm so very happy now. Can you please come and again take lunch at my home? Last time I could not feed you properly. So Mahaprabhu, he accepted out of his kindness. He went to his home and this Brahman, he made a huge feast, wonderful prasad, and he fed Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, he honored and he was very happy seeing the wonderful, happy mood of this Brahman. Then Mahaprabhu continued further. So Mahaprabhu, after delivering this Kurma Brahman, Brahman, Ramadas Vipra, he passed that night in the house of this Brahman. Next day morning he left. He went to a town of Tamraparni river, that is in Pandya Desh. Srila Prabhupada writes, Pandya Desh is in Kerala. And there are many kings of the title Pandya. They stay there. So Mahaprabhu is now going to many places. From there he goes to a place called as Tripati. Naya Tripati. In that place there are 9 Vishnu temples. Mahaprabhu takes darshan of all these temples. And he took bath in the river there, Tamraparni river. Prabhupada writes, these 9 temples, they are situated in and around a place called as Alvar Tirunakkarai. And once in a year, a wonderful festival is celebrated where all the deities, they come at one place. Then Mahaprabhu, from there he went to Chiyadatala. Chiyadatala is currently called as Cheratala. And there he saw the darshan of beautiful deities of Lord Ram and Lakshman, offered obeisances. And from there he proceeded to Tilakanchi. Tilakanchi is a temple of Lord Shiva, which is 30 miles northeast of Tirunelveli. Prabhupada writes that. From there, he proceeded to a place called as Gajendra Mokshan. There he saw the beautiful temple of Lord Vishnu. That Gajendra Moksha is the same place where Lord delivered the elephant Gajendra from the jaws of crocodile. This crocodile was also a Gandharva. He was cursed to become a crocodile. So Mahaprabhu took darshan of that place and then he went to a place called as Panagadi. There he saw the deities of Ram and Sita. Prabhupada writes, Panagadi, it was a temple of Lord Ram and Sita, but later the devotees of Lord Shiva, they replaced those deities and now you'll find a deity of Lord Shiva there. Shivling is there. From there, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a place called as Chamtapur. Chamtapur, he saw the deities of Lord Ram and Lakshman. From there, he went to a place called as Sri Vaikuntha. And there he saw Vishnu deity again. From there, he went to Malay Parvat. At Malay Parvat, he prayed to Agastya Muni. And Prabhupada writes some details about Agastya Muni. So this Malay Parvat is a range of mountains from Kerala, beginning from Kerala all the way to Kanyakumari. There is a range of mountain and that is called as Malaya. And in that Malaya Parvat, Agastya Muni was residing. There is a temple of Agastya in that area. That is in the district of Tanjore, in the village Agastyampalli. In that same area, there is a temple of Skanda, Kartikeya, on a hill called as Shivagiri. At the same place, there is another temple of Agastya Muni, where Agastya Muni would stay. And that is the place called as Pathia. So that's how Srila Prabhupada gives some details about this place. From there, Mahaprabhu, he proceeded and reached Kanyakumari or Cape Comorin. That is the southernmost point of India. After visiting Kanyakumari, he went to another place called as Amli Tala. There he saw another deity of Lord Ramchandra. From there, he went to Mallara Desh. In Mallara Desh, he had to rescue his assistant Krishna. He had to rescue his assistant from the hands of Bhattacharys. Skala Krishna Das, he was seduced by the Bhattachari women. Prabhupada writes about Bhattacharys. So this Bhattachari is a nomadic community. They have no fixed residence. They keep on traveling from one place to another. And externally, they dress themselves as sannyasis. And they seduce people. They have many women in their community. And all these women, they are also seduced by them, first of all. And then they use these women to seduce all the other travelers. Their real business is stealing and cheating. So this community of Bhattachari was there in Mallara Desh. Mahaprabhu, he went to a place called as Tamal Kartik. From there he went to Vetapani. There he saw the darshan of Raghunath, passed the night there. And then Kaviraj Goswami comes back to the story of Kal Krishna Das. So one day, Kal Krishna Das got up in the morning and the ladies of this Bhattachari community, they had already seduced him. Stri dhan dekhaiya tar lobh janmaila, arya saral viprera buddhi nasho hoy kaila. Stri dhan dekhaiya tar lobh janmaiya. This whole story of Kal Krishna Das, it is a very, very strong lesson for a sadhaka bhakta. This Kal Krishna Das, he was there with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was there with Supreme Lord directly. But because he was not completely purified, he got distracted and deviated. It is very, very important that a sadhaka should control all his senses. That's what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha vashe yasyendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. Tani sarvani sanyamya. Please control all your senses. Yukta. Please engage them in Krishna's service. Otherwise, if you allow even one of the senses to wander, it will take away the mind and the intelligence also. So therefore, Krishna is telling, please don't allow even one of the senses to wander. It is like a boat in the river and there is a huge storm. Vayura navam ivam vasi, just like a storm can sway the boat from the normal actual path, even one of the wandering senses can sway away the determination of a practicing spiritualist. Therefore, Krishna says, out of mind control and sense control is easier. Begin with sense control. तस्मात् त्वमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजिह्येदं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्. Tasmat, therefore, Tvam, O Arjun, you should begin controlling the senses first. Indriyani Adav Niyamya, control the senses first. Otherwise, if we think chalta hai, okay, it is okay if we do this, if we see this, if we go there, eat that, hear that, chalta hai. This chalta hai mood will not work in the long run. We have to be really careful. Otherwise, this whole story of Kal Krishnadas is a great lesson for all of us. Sri Dhan Dekhaiya Tar Lobh Janmaila. He became tempted. He didn't have the intention to do it, but the forces of illusion are like that. You are tempted. We are tempted. And Kaviraj Goswami specifically uses the words Arya Sarala Vipra. He was simple and gentle. So, if somebody is simple and gentle, that does not mean they'll be protected always. We have to be very alert. A devotee should feel like a small forest animal always. How a small forest animal lives in the forest? Humble and alert. Because there are many ferocious animals, they can eat me anytime. If I'm not alert, and if I'm thinking, "Arey, main to bahut bada hu," will be killed. So therefore, in this world full of distractions, allurements, with no spiritual values, education, no devotional culture, we have to be really careful. Because this is a treasure which is given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prem Ratan Dhan, if we are not aware of what we have, then Sri Dhana Dekhaiya Tara Lobha Janmaila. If somebody is not aware of what they have, and they are looking for some petty things, thinking that ये तो बहुत ही important लग रहा है. If somebody has diamond and he is getting attracted to the sparkling of the broken piece of glass, and sometimes artificial diamonds shine more than the real diamond. So we have to be really careful. If we are not cultivating this dhana of chanting the names of the Lord, if we are not aware of what we have, then we'll look after the dhana of this world. Sri dhana dekhaiya tar lobha janmaila, arya sarala viprera buddhi nasha kaila. And he got distracted by the bad association. He was with the Supreme Lord, none other than Supreme Lord. But then also he got distracted. How much one should be careful. You have to have that personal strength. If we don't have that personal strength of staying away from the distractions, all the devotee community, they can give us right guidance. But if we don't apply that guidance, use that guidance and learn and become strong ourselves, that guidance will not help us. Prabhupada writes in one letter to Satswarup Maharaj. He gives the analogy of the plane or a bird. He says when the birds are flying in the formation, they are high in the sky. And if one bird is weak enough and can't fly, other birds cannot do anything. He will fall down. That bird will fall down. In another place, in the first canto, 15th chapter, 50th verse, purport, Prabhupada gives another example. In this chapter, Pandavas are retiring. Yudhishthira Maharaj leaves, Bhim leaves, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, they individually decide and leave. They don't meet and they don't decide. Yeah, chalo abhi hum sab log vanvas karte hain. Leave the kingdom, we'll go to the forest and do tapasya, we'll go to Himalayas. Nobody consulted. Individually, they took the decision and they left. An interesting thing is nobody even told Draupadi and Subhadra to come along. But because Draupadi and Subhadra, they were also trained, they also followed. Prabhupada writes a very important purport there. While flying in the sky, one plane cannot help other plane. All the help and support will be given when the flight is on the ground. Everything will be given. All the support, fuel, machinery, everything will be checked properly. But once the flight is in the air, nobody is going to help us. Prabhupada writes very strong statements. Spiritual master, father, husband, other devotees, nobody will help us. We have to take the instructions given by them and become strong ourselves. Otherwise, at the time of death, nobody will chant on our behalf. So we have to have that personal strength. Association of devotees are strength. But if we are not taking advantage of that strength and becoming strong ourselves, that association will not help us. So this Kala Krishnadas was with Krishna, but still, Arya Sarala Viprera Buddhi Nashukaila. By their bad association, his intelligence was polluted. And then Kala Krishnadas went with them. And in the morning, early in the morning, he left. And the Lord, as soon as he came to know, he ran behind him. That is how the Lord is so very wonderful. First of all, he didn't want to take anyone with him. And the devotees, Nityananda, Jagadananda, Mukunda, Damodar, they all sent, please take one person. Tumar dui hastabadda nama ganane jalpatra bahirvas vahibhakya mane. Who will carry your jalpatra and bahirvas? You will be chanting, both hands will be busy. And you will fall down in ecstasy. Who will pick you up? So he didn't want this person to come. And now he has to run behind this person to save him. That is how Lord is. He never tells, Kisne bulane ke liye? Now you suffer. The same thing happened with Balabhadra Bhattacharya also. Because Lord is so very compassionate. Again, he didn't want to take Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Sarup Damodar says, no, please take him. Sarup kahe Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Tomate susnigdha bada pandit sadhuarya. Oh, he has affection for you. He is very intelligent. He is very sense controlled. He knows how to deal with others. Please take him. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya is in Vrindavan with Mahaprabhu. And everyone is coming to invite Mahaprabhu. Please come to my home, please. And Mahaprabhu would direct all of them to Balabhadra, secretary, appointment le lo. Srila Prabhupada, many people would come to take his appointment. Please come to our home for prasad. And Srila Prabhupada would direct all of them to his secretary. And secretary would tell her, hey, koi abhi appointment ka slot nahi hai. He is already occupied. So people would say, Swamiji is ready to come. You are becoming an obstacle. Same thing happened with Balabhadra Bhattacharya. प्रतिदिन तोमा वृंदावन देखी जाए तोमा नहीं पाए लोक मोर माथा खाए. Says Balabhadra Bhattacharya says, प्रातः काले सर्वलोक तोमा पासे आए. या प्रातः काले सर्वलोक तोमा पासे आए तोमा नहीं पाए लोक मोर माथा खाए. Arey, every morning people come to meet you and ask you and to invite you, and they don't meet you, and they are just eating my head. Mora mata hai. We should just leave this place. Mahaprabhu didn't tell Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Balbhadra Bhattacharya, who told you to come with me? First of all, you came with me to serve me, and I want to be in Vrindavan, and you are telling me that leave Vrindavan. That was the cherished desire of Mahaprabhu, to be in Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu entered Vrindavan Kartik 1515, and then just after 2 months, so many problems are happening with Balbhadra Bhattacharya. He can't handle all these invitations. He is getting upset. Mahaprabhu leaves Vrindavan because Balbhadra Bhattacharya is suffering. So that is Mahaprabhu. Here also, Kala Krishna Das is in trouble now. So Mahaprabhu has to leave his schedule, his ecstasy, and run behind this Kala Krishna Das to rescue him. So Mahaprabhu reaches this place of Bhattacharya's, and he tells, why are you keeping my Brahman assistant? You are also sannyasi, and I am also sannyasi. Why are you giving me pain? Don't you understand that a sannyasi needs an assistant? I don't see any logic in this. Please return my assistant. And as soon as these Bhattacharys, they saw Mahaprabhu, they came with the weapons to attack Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, he just looked at them. And all the weapons, they started falling on them all only. And they were getting cut, their limbs were getting cut, they were bleeding. And some were cut to pieces, another ran away. And then Mahaprabhu, he caught hold of the hairs, grabbed Kala Krishna Das by his hair, and he dragged Kala Krishna Das back. So that is how Mahaprabhu, he is dealing with his person, Kala Krishna Das, just to save him. So that's how Mahaprabhu is. So then from there, Mahaprabhu, he the journey, and he arrived at the bank of Payaswini river. Kala Krishna Das and Mahaprabhu, they took bath. And there is no mention that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised and, corrected Kala Krishna Das and gave all the chastisements. No, there is no mention like that. So Mahaprabhu also knows how to deal with the person who is succumbing to his material conditionings. He's already beaten by material desires. Why to chastise him more? Kala Krishna Das was also very guilty. And that guilt he expresses when he reaches back to Jagannath Puri. He was very sad, and Mahaprabhu told, I don't want to see the face of Kala Krishna Das. Just take him and put him wherever you want. I don't want to see his face. Eto shuni Krishna Das kandite lagila madhyan purite Mahaprabhu chali gela. Mahaprabhu left to do his madhyan, Sandhya, and Kala Krishna Das is crying. So naturally, a genuine devotee, whenever he succumbs to his conditionings, he repents. Mahaprabhu didn't chastise him anymore. They both took bath at Adikeshava, at Payaswani river, and then they proceeded to Adikeshava temple. There, Mahaprabhu took darshan of Adikeshava, chanted and danced in kirtan, overwhelmed with ecstasy. He recited beautiful prayers, glorifying the Lord there. And from Adikeshava, he continued his journey. Preme dekhi loke hoila maha chamatkar, sarvaloka kaila prabhu parama satkar. Whenever Mahaprabhu dance and chant and fall down in ecstasy, it was a sight to behold. Everywhere Mahaprabhu went, it is so very interesting. whenever we chant and dance in kirtan, we need instruments, kartal, mridang, sab hona chahiye. Then only we feel that mood to chant and dance. But Mahaprabhu is not having any kirtan company with him. Kirtan party nahi hai. Akele he is traveling with Kal Krishna Das. And the way he danced always attracted everyone. Preme dekhi lok hoila maha chamatkar. And devotees and all the people, they were amazed to see the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all welcomed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very nicely. In the temple of Adikeshava, Mahaprabhu heard wonderful spiritual discourses in association of very advanced devotees. And at this place in Adikeshava temple, he found the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita, which we recite. Punthi paiya prabhur hoila ananda apar, kampashru swed stamba ulaka vikar. Just by getting that book, Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy. Punthi paiya prabhur hoila ananda apar. He was ecstatic. All the symptoms were manifesting in the body. Ulaka, Ashru, Kampa, Swed, Stamba, Apar. And then Kaviraj Goswami describes the glories of Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita is not an ordinary literature. Although we only have the 5th chapter of that book, that Brahma Samhita is a wonderful literature. Siddhanta Shastra Nahi Brahma Samhita Rasam Govinda Mahima Jnanera Premera Parama Karan. Siddhanta Shastra Nahi Brahma Samhita Rasam. There is no scripture of philosophical conclusions like Brahma Samhita. All the conclusions of philosophies is given in Brahma Samhita. Govinda Mahima Jnanera. And not only that, no, it is not just only having philosophy. Govinda Mahima Jnanera Parama Karan. It is full of the wonderful descriptions of the Lord, the glories of Lord Krishna, Govinda. It reveals the topmost knowledge. And why it is so wonderful? Alpakshare kohe siddhanta apar sakala Vaishnava sastra madhya atisar. Alpa akshare, in very brief words, very few words, Alpa akshar, siddhanta apar. Many philosophical conclusions are written in very few words. Sakala Vaishnava Shastra Madhya Atisar. Among all the Vaishnava scriptures, this is most essential. Prabhupada writes a brief description of what is there in Brahma Samhita. He summarizes all the various topics which are mentioned in Brahma Samhita. And just by reading those topics, we understand, wow, so many things are written in just few verses in Brahma Samhita. Prabhupada writes, first of all, Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva is described there. Then the method of devotional service is described. What are the 18 syllable mantra? The description of the soul, super soul, karma kanda and karma yoga, and description of kama gayatri, and then kama bija, and who is Mahavishnu, and all these things are described. Not only that, what are the various stages of devotional service? What is yoga nidra? What is the position of Lord Ramchandra? Rama Dimurti Shukalani Amena Tishtan. What is the role of the deities? Who are the conditioned souls? What is the position of Lord Shiva? Shiram Yatha Devikara Vishesha Yoga. What is the position of Durga? What is personalism? What is impersonalism? Everything is described in nutshell. That is Brahma Samhita. Mahaprabhu, he copied Brahma Samhita and he brought that piece of literature with him with great pleasure. From there, he went to Anant Padmanabh Swami temple. He remained at Anant Padmanabh for 2-3 days, took darshan of the Lord every day, chanted and danced. From there, he went to another place, Sri Janardhan. Sri Janardhan, Prabhupada writes, is 26 miles north of Trivandrum. There is a station, Varkal. There, Mahaprabhu stayed for another 2 days and then he proceeded on the bank of Payaswani river. He reached a place called as a temple called as Shankar Narayan. And at that Shankar Narayan, he saw the monastery of Sringeri Mutt. And Prabhupada writes in detail about the Sringeri Mutt. Sringeri Mutt is one of the 4 mattas established by Shankaracharya. He had 4 principal matta in the 4 directions of India. Prabhupada writes a brief of the biography of Shankaracharya also. In North India, there is Badrikashram. There they have Jyotir Mutt. In the east, Purushottam. In Jagannath Puri, they have this Govardhan Mutt. In the west, in Dwarka, they have Sharada Mutt. And in the south, they have Sringeri Mutt. And the sannyasis, they are Ekadandi sannyasis, Mayavadi sannyasis. Their titles end with Bharati, Saraswati, or Puri. And Prabhupada gives a list of all the acharyas in the line of Shankara Sampradaya still now, till 1800. Prabhupada gives the names of everyone. And then Prabhupada describes the life of Shankaracharya. He was born in 608 Shatabda era in a place called as, which was there on the bank of Narmada. And he was born on 3rd day of the waxing moon at a place called as Kaladi. His father was Shiva Guru. At the age of 8, he took sannyas. Started traveling to various places. He went to Badrikashram. He stayed at Badrikashram till the 12th year of his age. From there, he came down to Varanasi. And there he wrote commentary. At 12 years of age, he wrote commentary on 10 Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. And there he made 4 powerful disciples, Padmanabad, Sureshwara, Hastamalaka, and Trotaka. From there, he went to Prayag. He wanted to meet and discuss some of the conclusions of the philosophy with a person called as Kumarila Bhatta. But he was very old that time. Kumarila Bhatta, he was completely bedridden, about to leave his body. He directed him to his disciple Mandan Mishra. Mandan Mishra, he was also very expert, very, very powerful scholar. Shankaracharya started debating with Mandan Mishra. And he defeated Mandan Mishra. Mandan Mishra had a wife. Her name was Saraswati or Ubhaya Bharati. This Mandan Mishra, this Ubhaya Bharati, she said, you have to debate with me also. I will not accept the defeat of my husband till you defeat me also. Shankaracharya, he started debating with this lady, Ubhaya Bharati. And this lady, she started discussing some of the erotic principles which one experiences in amorous love. And Shankaracharya was a celibate from birth. So he could not answer any of those things. But Shankaracharya, he is powerful personality, he is Lord Shiva himself. He took a leave for 1 month. He said, please give me 1 month. I'll come back and discuss with you all these principles. He left that place. Nearby, in one kingdom, there was a king. He had left his body. And they were about to cremate the body of this king. Shankaracharya, he sat in meditation he left his body and he entered the body of this king. And this king again came to life. And in that body, Shankaracharya experienced amorous love. And everybody was thinking, and this Ubhaya Bharti, she was searching for this Shankaracharya. And people could understand that I think Shankaracharya is in the body of this person, this king. They were searching for the body of Shankaracharya to burn so that he cannot come back. But somehow this body was protected by his disciples. Ultimately, he came back, he left the king's body again came back to his body, and then he came and he started arguing and debating with this Ubhaya Bharati. And Ubhaya Bharati, she could understand. Just before debating, she accepted defeat. She blessed him that you will establish the principles of scriptures according to impersonal philosophy. And then ultimately, she also left his family. She left the material life. Mandal Mishra also took sannyas. He became one of the very prominent disciples, Shureshwara. So Prabhupada writes all this description. So then Mahaprabhu, he reached, from there he reached Udupi. And there he saw the beautiful deity of Gopalji. He chanted and danced in ecstasy. And Srila Prabhupada, he describes the life of Madhvacharya in this purport. So we will discuss that in the next class. Very wonderful description Srila Prabhupada gives about the life of Madhvacharya. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.